This then is the Atlantis M109 Howitzer. Got a small box as well, actually. They're rebranded Aurora kits, and yeah, I've done a couple of Aurora kits, one of which is a Centurion, which had a really nice hull, but a turret that was apparently from a completely different vehicle from what I could see. So what do you get inside the box? This is actually in a bag, but I've obviously opened it. Not a lot of sprues, really. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 sprues. Some rubber band tracks. Obviously there's no aftermarket tracks that I've been able to find for this, so we're going to have to use those. Some decals to give 2 options. One is an American vehicle and the other one is West German, which kind of dates this, really, doesn't it? Obviously, despite the Atlantis 2021, it's copyrighted as them, but these are the original Aurora decals. The instructions, it's quite a nice, clearly printed instruction set. Again, dated 2022. There's the 2 options, being, yeah, US and West German. Open it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stages. It's not going to take very long to build. I think it's going to be a fairly pleasurable build. Now these are fairly cheap kits, even in the UK. Oh, and there's an option of two barrels as well. Short one or a long one. Obviously we're going to go for the long one. As for the quality of things, well, let's start with the barrel. It's moulded in 2 halves, so that's going to take a little bit of work. There's this nice anti-slip texture on it. I don't know if the original vehicle actually had anti-slip, but there are a couple of problems with that as well. Can't find the right sprue. Yeah, just here. Great big ejector marks on there. It's not going to be too much of a deal, and these are fairly cheap kits, so you know, and they're fairly old as well, so I think we can forgive that. There's no option for posing these doors open, which is a shame, because when you see them firing them, you've always got the doors open. Detail is a bit clunky, but again, that's what you'd expect. These are the baskets on the side, and you can see how big and thick those actually are. But you know, it's a 70s model, really. But I don't think that's going to be that difficult, really, to thin down either. I would think about replacing it, but I'd quite like to build this out the box, actually. Just see, without trying to do too much in the way of super detailing, because I'm not a great super detail freak. Those are the headlights. That lens, that cover there is really, really thick. So perhaps a bit more on the way of adjusting the parts that we've actually got. There is a machine gun in here, which really, yeah, do sit down. That's the 50 cal. There we go, never mind. And these are the figures. I think these Aurora figures are absolutely hilarious. I did the Type 97 Chi-Ha, and again there was a figure standing outside with a walkie-talkie. This one, it'd be rather unfortunate to put that in a West German vehicle, wouldn't it? What he's actually looking at. And half a driver. His arms just there. I think I'm actually going to be using these figures. They're going to be changed a little bit because, oops, get back. This actually is going to go to an Egyptian finish, which is really quite bright. So I don't think this is going to take very long to build, actually. They're in a couple of evenings, should get it done. The painting is going to take a little bit longer, and the actual working out the stages I'm going to do it in. I think I'm going to paint a lot of the track assemblies before it actually goes together. And what does amuse me is these little instructions. Do not cement to hull. You know, do not allow cement to touch wheels. I don't see why really. I mean, fair enough on the gun. But yeah, lots more. Do not cement this and do not cement that. Cement the machine gun ring only. I don't know why. I don't really care, to be honest. You know, it's a cheap model, and I think it's actually going to build into what's going to be quite an attractive model. It's a big purposeful looking device, and yeah. Oh, and there's the other thing I like is that bit. I suppose it is. I mean, I actually have I do tend to keep the Tamiya boxes, and I cut them out, and yeah, I've just got a pile of them. So it's going to take a little bit of work, and there are just one bit that I definitely am going to replace because they're just too awful for words. Are these jerry cans? They're just, I don't think they're actually salvageable. They've also got almost no detail on them, so those definitely are going to go in the bin. But the rest of it is going to be modified here and there where I need to. So we'll see in a few days or a couple of weeks perhaps what the actual vehicle looks like. So all in all, I mean, you know, in the UK I think this is about £20. So, you know, £5 or so cheaper than a lot of the Tamiya stuff. Fairly rightly, some of these hatches are a little bit small as well, from the photographs I've seen. It's a basic kit, and I think it's going to go back to the truths of modelling. That I'm going to quite enjoy doing this because it's going to take quite a lot to actually build it into a sort of reasonably acceptable vehicle. There's going to be a lot of work, but again, I'm not having a go at Atlantis for this. A lot of people who've bought these and reviewed these online are all sort of, oh, it brings back so many happy childhood memories, and yeah, you know, I'm not one of these modelers who will sort of buy a £25 kit and then spend 20 quid on tracks and 20 quid on a barrel and then go and buy the sheet of brass detailing stuff, unless it's really, really necessary, which I haven't ever found it. It's going to be a pleasant little trip down memory lane, this one.